Okay, Boker Tov. We are at the bottom of Nun Amud Bet, 50b at the bottom. So we spoke about Rebbe and Bar Kapara and how Bar Kapara was a little bit of a joker, and Rebbe was very serious, and Rebbe usually didn't invite him to his son's wedding, and because he was very serious. I want to see a little bit more about that. And I saw yesterday in one of the Farshim in the that Bar Kapara wanted to. So when a person is with Simcha, then that's how now we're in Zman Simchatenu, Sukkot. When a person is with Simcha, that's the Shechina Sharui on them. So he wanted to bring a little bit more Simcha into Rebbe. Rebbe's avodah was he was Besimcha, but he was in that, inner Simcha, or not maybe outer Simcha. And so also the Maharsha over here says that the Rebbe took upon himself to accept Yisurim and punishments for the door, for Bnei Yisrael, for the generation. So he was very serious because he was taking upon himself punishments for Bnei Yisrael. So let's see 3 lines up from the bottom. Yoma de mechayech ba Rebbe. Let's wait. Probably Ezra. Hey, Ezra, we're just about to start right now. So talking about the seriousness of Rebbe, and I said how the Maharsha says that he took upon himself to be very extra serious, and to take upon himself suffering for the Bnei Israel. So the Gemara says Yoma at the bottom of Nun Amud Bet. Yoma de mechayech be Rebbe, on a day that Rebbe would smile. Atya puranuta le'alma. Punishments came down to the world. He wasn't doing Yisurim what he said he was going to be doing. So Amar le Bar Kapara, he told Bar Kapara, Lo tabdichan, don't make me laugh. Ve'ahiv nalach arba'in giruve chiti. If you do so, if you don't make me laugh, I guess by a certain time, I will give you 40. Remember, Rebbe was very rich. I'll give you 40 girivi. It seems like girivi is like baskets, I guess, or like a measurement. Is it baskets, girivi? Or just a measurement? It's a measurement. Arbaim girivi of chiti. 40 girivi of wheat.
It says 40 seah.
40 seah of wheat. Amarle lichzimar. He said, okay, let's see, master. Let's do it. But next page, dechol geriva debaina shakilna. But every measurement that I come, so as actually the Mefarish says, be'ezem midah she'ertzeh ekach, the top line, whatever vessel I want to come and collect it in, I'm going to come collect it in. I want to come with whatever vessel I want. So, נשמע. יום ראשון מתחיל ב8, אבל גמרא שיעור ב7. לא נאור. Good morning. Okay, we kind of just started. So, from Menashe gets back, I'll give you. So, Bar Kapara was a little bit more funnier, and Rebbe was more serious, and Maharsha says Rebbe was serious. He took upon himself like suffering for Bnei Israel, and therefore the Gemara says, he starts off by saying that on a day that Rebbe would smile, punishments would come down to the world. He was very, very serious. And therefore he told Bar Kapara, don't make me laugh. And he made him a deal, it seems by like a certain time. If you don't make me laugh by this certain time, I'll give you 40 measurements of wheat. And he said, okay. And then he said, but I'm going to, that's what we're up to right now, but the chol giriva, the ba'ina shakilna, like whatever, whatever vessel I want to come and collect it, I'm going to come collect it. Like I could bring even big.
The better translation would be 40 baskets.
So whatever basket, like
Yeah, whatever. That's right. That's what I was thinking also. But I just
like
don't know.
or something like that.
Yeah,
like
it's not set.
specific, but
Yeah, that's this. So that's what I think it is. But I think this given as a measurement. But
What is lechazimah?
I think like master and mar lichzi is to see. So like, okay, let's see master.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's what does it say the translation there is?
The master will see.
The master will see. Like, okay, you'll see. Like, let's do it.
Oh, okay.
Like, you'll see. She said, whatever I want to come collect it, I'll come collect it. Okay, top line. Shakal dikula rabba. He brought a big basket. And the Ran says, Sal gadol. Chafye kufra. The Ran says, she's going to go back and forth a little bit with the Ran. Baskets were like generally wicker baskets, have little holes, and he want not even one drop of wheat to come out of it. So he put the zef, he put like tar to make sure that it's like a fully closed basket. V'safche al reshe, and he put it on his head, and he put like he put it over his head. And he's a funny guy, Bar Kapara. So he put it on his head, but upside down on his head. Hafchu al rosho, put upside down on his head. Ve'azal, and he went to him. Ve'amar le, and he told Rabbi, Lechel li mar arbain giru v'chiti. And Darshina Bach. So he says, I want the 40 measurements of wheat. They told me. So Achuch Rabbi smiled. And Amarle, he told him, Lav azartich delot tibdechan. Didn't I tell you not to make me laugh? That's the whole point of this thing. You come here with a thing over your head. Amarle, chiti darshina kanesivna. Like, I'm here to collect my my wheat, and what's kanesivna? Like, I think
that I'm claiming.
So I think what he's saying is that I did the 40 days or whatever the set amount of days, but now it's time to collect. So that like the deal's finished. I just get to collect, and he made him laugh. So I think that the thing here is that not sure why he had to tar the basket. Maybe just to show him that he was like, as if he was serious. But he was really into making him laugh, making him, as we mentioned, besimcha, to try to get him to, in his mind, that simcha will be a stronger way of his Torah to be effective, etc. Okay. Says the Gemara. Amar le, more Bar Kapara stories. Amar le Bar Kapara le Barte de Rebbe. Bar Kapara told the daughter of Rebbe, Lemachar, tomorrow, Shatina Chamra birikuda davuch. I will drink wine and get a dance from your father, Rebbe. U bir ubakirkani deimech, and singing from your mother. I'm gonna get wine and dance from your father and singing from your mother.
Back then it was allowed.
No, it wasn't allowed. It was. It seems like. Yeah, it seems like it was. No, like if it was. I think it was. It was not. It was like he said it, but it wasn't necessarily going to happen. The singing. Okay, let's see. So he says. So what does this mean? That tomorrow we're going to get the. So let's see. So the Gemara says Ben El Asha. Ben El Asha. That's the guy's name. Chatne de Rebbe Hava. He was the son-in-law of Rebbe. Ve'ashir Gadol Hava. He was also Ashir Gadol, very wealthy. Azamne lebe hilula de Rabbi Shimon beRebbe, or it says in the Bere, and he invited Bar Kapara to his son's wedding, Rabbi Shimon. Amar le Bar Kapara Rebbe. So now Bar Kapara, they're at the wedding. That's the setting now. And the day before, he told the daughter, "I want to get your father to pour me wine." And whatever. So he tells Bar Kapara. Bar Kapara tells Rebbe at the wedding, "My to'eva." What does the word to'eva mean? Now, to'eva means something disgusting, and the word to'eva is as the Ran says, is used regarding mishkav zachur, regarding homosexuality. It's used. This is to'eva. This is disgusting. So he says? What does the word to'eva mean, Rebbe? So says the Gemara, Kol de amar le Rebbe dehachin hu to'eva. Everything that Rebbe said, this is what the word to'eva means. Pircha bar kapara. Bar kapara asked on it and questioned it and he undid it. He said, no, that's not what it means. It means this. No. Everything that Rebbe tried to answer, Bar kapara had an answer for. Amar le. So Rebbe told Bar kapara, Parshat, you explain to me now what to'eva is. So fine, every answer they gave you is not good. You tell me. Amar le, he told him, Titi da bitchi. I think he said, bring your wife, tir mi li, and I think pour for me wine. No, tir mi li, natla atat ramyale. Titi, what does it translate as? Bring your wife and pour for me a cupful of drink, a couple of wine, a goblet of wine. The word natla, the Ran says it's kli katan, and the Mefarshim says no, it's kli gadol. Okay. So he says, you want to know the answer? Okay, first of all, pour me wine. Amar le Rebbe, and then he told Rebbe, kum rekodli, get up and dance for me. You want to know the answer? Dance for me. And the imar lach hachi, and then I'll tell you the explanation. And it seems like he did it. Rebbe did it, and also just shows how Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, he wanted to hear Torah, so he would do anything to even embarrass himself to understand Torah. So he tells him the explanation. Amar Rachmana, Hashem says, To'eva is to'e ataba. To'e is like you're turning away from the normal way. The normal way is not going with a man, it's going with a woman. It's not, you're turning away. So to'eva is to'e. To'e is like you're turning off of the path. You're turning from the normal way. That's the explanation of the word to'eva. So, lekasa acharina, for another cup. So now, continuing the story, he wanted, I guess, another cup, or I think he wanted to give Rebbe another cup.
No, he wants to get another.
I think he wants it for himself.
Bar Kappa wanted another cup.
Yes, let's get another cup.
So
Yeah,
let's get another
it
cup.
seems that she sang for them.
No, she didn't sing. She gave him wine.
No, after that she sang.
Where? He sang. He recorded. He danced.
Right, and that's what we found.
He danced. Lekasa acharina. For another cup, Amalei my tevel. So he said, what is tevel? Now tevel is it's used, as the Ran says, in what's called bestiality. If a lady goes with an animal, so that's called tevel. The Torah calls it tevel. It's also a word of disgusting, but what is tevel? So he says, so what's my tevel? He tells Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, what's tevel? Like what happened the first time around. He gave answers, and then he questioned all the answers. Okay, now you say. So, if you want me to say, you have to dance for me, you have to sing for me, you have to, he says, he did everything for him. He said, do for me. Deomer lecha avad. He said, do for me everything, and he did for him everything. Amarle tevel hu tavlin yeshba. Tevel is like another tavlin. Tavlin means spices. Is it spicy? Meaning, is it doing this thing is tasty? Is it actually good? Mishanya hada bia min kulu biot. Is this bia? Is this type of intercourse better than the real intercourse? It's not. What are you doing? It's not spicy. There's no taste to it. It's what are you doing? That's tavlin. And if the Ran says tavlin yeshba bitmiya, like in a question, like really tavlin yeshba? Is there spicier? It's like you're crazy. What are you doing? Next, he tells him a third thing. Amar le umay zima. What's zima? Zima is used for, I think, it's regular, like,
Harlot?
yeah, regular type of like eshetish or.
It says lewdness. No? Lewdness? You call her harlot in this book.
Yeah. Here also harlot.
Zima is regular type of
Man to woman.
not allowed relationships. So he says zima. What does zima mean? So Amrle Ivid Kin Yenakadma Avad, like the whole first part of the story. He did it, danced again for him, etc. Amrle Zima is Zo Mahi. This, what is it? Zo Mahi. Like this, what is it? Is so the Ran says Zomahi Lashon Safek. Like this, what is this? She'en Yadua Mimihi Mitaberet. Like we don't know who she's pregnant from. So like you're gonna do an action that's in hiding, that's not allowed. And if a lady gets pregnant, then it's like, oh, who's this one from? Oh, we don't even know. Happy to speak to someone once. He was adopted, and he found out his papers, and even in his papers, like he found like the things were open, and he eventually found his papers of who his parents were. Even in the papers, the father was no it didn't mention anything about a father. Father was empty. The mother had the mother's name. You always know what the mother is. The father, like Zumahi, who is this one? So you're doing an action of zima, which is Zumahi. Like what is this? What's that's what's going to come out of here of question marks. Gemara continues, Lo yachil ben el asa lemisbal, the word sovel. Ben el asa, the son-in-law of Rebbe, seems like the father of the chatan in that wedding, couldn't see what's going on and take what's going on. Seeing his father-in-law dancing and jumping and this to get the Dvar Torah from Bar Kapara. Come, v'nafaku v'intete v'taman. He got up and he took his wife and they left. And they left the wedding. They couldn't take it. The Maharal over here says that this was Bar Kapara's way of Simchat Chatan and Kala. It was at the wedding, and to get the Rebbe to dance, to get to do Simchat Chatan and Kala. And that the Simchat Chatan and Kala, a better way is, number one, is through Torah. So there's always like Divrei Torahs with the dancing and stuff. And these Divrei Torahs are about bad relationships, Asur relations, but to show how disgusting that is, but how beautiful this is a beautiful wedding, and this is beautiful, this is correct, and this is all good. So it was like Divrei Torahs intertwined with Simcha at the Simcha. So Ben Elazar couldn't take it. He's like, well, he didn't understand it, he left. But that was the explanation. That's what the Maharal says. Says the Gemara, My Ben Elasa. So Ma is usually what? I think it's here. It's like, who is Ben Elasa? Like, tell us a little bit more about Ben Elasa. Titania, there's a Braita from Masechet Sanhedrin. Lo lechinam pizer Ben Elasa et ma'otav. Not for no reason did Ben Elasa spend a lot of his money, because he spent a lot of money on a haircut, like a ton of money on a haircut. He didn't do it for no reason. Rather, he wanted to show what the haircut of a Kohen Gadol looked like, and we're going to see that because Kohen Gadol's got haircuts every day. Second of all, it was a type of haircut that we'll see in the Gemara that the layering was, I don't even know how it works, but this is the end of one hair would touch the root of the next hair below it, and it's like a type of fade, but it would be. It seems like every hair needed to be cut, like literally, like on its own, and it was very long, and it was, I guess, very expensive. So she just felt like it seems like every day there was a so he could stay on his. Maybe back then it wasn't very long. It was there was pros how to do it and whatever, but they wanted to show So he spent a lot of money. Like, oh, you spending so much money at the barber? He said, no, I want to show everybody. Look at the haircut. This is how Kohen Gadol. We don't have Bet Hamikdash anymore. Whatever. This is how Kohen Gadol's haircut was.
Was he a Kohen or?
No. I think he just wanted to show the people. I guess type of the Kohen Gadol type of haircut. So Dichtiv, as the pasuk says, Kasom yichsamu et roshehem. Like, what does that mean? The type of haircut, they cut their hair.
That's right, yeah. They shall trim their
They
hair.
should trim their hair. Tana ke'en lulinit. It was like a lulinit. My lulinit. What's lulinit? Amar Yehuda tisparta yechidta. A very like a unique type of haircut. Hechidan is like, how did it go? How did the haircut go? Amar Rava, it says Rosho shel zeh betzad ikaro shel zeh. The head of this one was at the side of the root of this one. Talking about each hair. And that is...
We still use Lulianit today. You can say Lulian.
What's Lulianit? Type of haircut?
No.
What is it?
It's like those performers in the Kirkas, in the
Circus?
Circus, yeah.
What type of performers?
I don't know, those who do all the acrobatics and
They
stuff
call
like that. They
Lulian?
call them Lulian.
Acrobat?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. Acrobat haircut, I don't know. But,
Maybe.
yeah, so this is a... and the Ran says, בצד עיקר של זה, מצמצם היה שלא יעלה אחד מן השערות על חברו. It was so like tight, the haircut, that not one hair would go on its friend's hair, not meaning on another hair. The hairs were so straight, the hair wouldn't go onto another hair.
If you do like very short, it's not gonna touch, right? I think
Yeah.
that's very short.
I don't know.
Says here the haircut was named after a particular Roman emperor or some other notable figure of this name who had this kind of haircut.
Okay. Fine. So that brings us to the end of this. I didn't check more into the haircut thing. Fine. That brings us more to the end of the stories. And now back to Nedarim. Here we go. Ubdalat harimutza. Are we going on time? We should be okay. Dalat harimutza. So if a person makes a neder on not eating tavshilim that connect that foods that eat with bread, you could eat. We saw the bitza kurmit or something like that, and then but you could also eat this type of gourd, the dalat harimutza. My dalat harimutza. What is dalat harimutza? Amar Shmuel, kra karkuzai, a type of gourd, karkuzai. From Karkuz, it's a place. It says the Ram. Of Ashi Amar, dalat timuna beremetz, a type of gourd that's buried in ash, and that's how it would get cooked, like hot ash. But Eitiv Ravina and Ravashi, it's a question. Ravina has a question on Ravashi. Rabbi Nechemia Omer dalat aramit, he dalat hamitzrit. He says like this: dalat aramit is dalat hamitzrit. Some people call it dalat aramit. Some people call it dalat hamitzrit. Kalaim im hayevanit. Kalaim im haremutza. So these types of dalat violate the laws of kalaim. Kalaim is just like shatnez. You can't mix wool and linen. You also can't mix you can't graft. You can eat the result of grafting, but you can't graft. You can't, if it's a goy graft, let's say you have like nectarines and stuff like that, but you can't graft yourself. So even with vegetables, so certain ones, so now, what do you mean I have this gourd and this gourd? They're both gourds, it's the same, right? So certain ones, yes, okay, they're the same family. Certain ones, no, they're not. So the Gemara says, Klaim ima yevanit, I mean there's aramit and mitzrit, and says Rav Nechemia they're the same. The Egyptian one and the Aramaic gourd. But there's a violation of Klaim if you go with a Yevanit, with the Greek one, and with the Remutza one. So you see from over here, Remutza, the whole point of this thing is that the Remutza is a title of a different type of gourd, as opposed to a gourd that's stuffed in ash. So, because gourd that's in ash could be any type of gourd, put it in ash, now it's called Remutza. That's what Rav Ashi said. No, you see from Rav Nechemia, it's not that. The word remutza means it's a type. There's an Egyptian one, a Greek one, a remutza one. So it's a type of actual gourd as opposed to a gourd put in ash. So that's a question on Rav Ashi. And Gemara says, Tiyufta, you're right, it remains a question on Rav Ashi's explanation. Next, the Mishnah. And this Mishnah is exactly the end of the last Mishnah, the exact same thing. And the Mefarshim say here that it was it's like kind of double printed over here because it was already mentioned. Okay, says the Gemara Mishnah Hanoder mimaase kedera and asur ela mimaase ritcheta. If a person says, I want to make a neder, not eat things from the pot, maase kedera, so it's only things that are very hot, that are made in a kedera, that are made in a pot. Amar kunam hayored la kedera. If I say kunam, things that go into a pot, shani that I'm not going to eat, asur bechol, then it's asur than anything that you eat that goes into a pot. So if you say something that's maaseh kedera, from the action of a pot, then okay, it has to be something that's hot that was made in a pot. Anything that goes into a pot, and even if I have that item cold, an onion usually goes into a pot. I can't have that. Okay. Says the Gemara, Tanya hanoder mina yored la kedera, asur be yored le alfas. If a person says, I don't want to have what goes into a kedera, you're also asur what goes into an alfas. And alfas, it seems like it was a wider pot, and it was a bigger pot, and it was
It's a picture here.
let's see.
Word in Greek.
A Greek pot.
Stew pot.
A double pot, yeah.
Yeah, and the translation for the other word is a pen.
A
Here.
pen.
Like it's the smaller one is pen. One of them is pen, one of them is pot.
pot.
Steel colors.
So it seems, you see, and the Gemara explains, Shekvar yarad lekdera, kodem sheyarad le'elfas. So elfas is this wider pot, this bigger pot. It's like a second stage. What goes into this wider pot? It has to first go into the kedera and then go into the elfas. So whatever goes into the alfas first went into the kedera. So if a person says, I don't want to have anything that goes into the kedera, then you're going to also be asur for things that go into the alfas, because shekvar yarad the kedera kodem sheyarad the alfas, because it first goes into the kedera before the alfas. Okay. Mina yared le elfas. If a person says, I don't want to have something that goes into the elfas, mutar be yared le kedera. It's mutar to have things that go into the kedera. Hold on. Yeah, if something that went into the elfas, because you're right. In general, things that go to the elfas first went to the kedera, but if it didn't go into the elfas yet, then you're still mutar with it. So let's say an onion. An onion usually goes into the kedera and then it goes into the elfas. So if you say min hayored le elfas, it's still mutar until it goes into the alfas. Mina naasaba kedera, mutar ben naasaba alfas. What's done in the kedera is mutar for what's done in the alfas. Because what's done in the kedera, so if a guy says, I don't want a neder for what's done in the kedera, it's mutar for what's done in the alfas.
The translation here is finished, not done.
Yeah, finished.
Like if it's finished in a pot, then it's not. He doesn't want that.
Yeah, so the Ran says, Gemara asiyato, meaning if a guy says, I don't want to eat from what's finished in a kedera, you're allowed to eat what's finished in an alfas. Hold on, but whatever was in alfas was in a kedera, it's a new finishing. Now you put in this bigger pot, it's a new type of cooking, a new finishing, even though it started in the kedera.
I think kedera is bigger, right?
No, the alfas is bigger.
Yeah.
That's what it says over here. And 3 lines at the bottom. Mina naasa ba'alfas, mutar b'naasa b'kedera. Something that's done, if a person says, I don't want to have what's done from the alfas, it's mutar for what's done in the kedera because it didn't even reach the alfas yet. Okay. Hanoder mina yored la tanur. Person says, I don't want to have anything that goes into the oven. And asur the bepat, you're only asur on to eat bread. Because as the Ran says, stam yurid letanur mashmapat. Because in general, like a regular case when a person says things that go into the oven, it's generally bread. But if a person says v'im amar, bottom line, kol ma'asatan, everything that goes into an oven or anything, Allah is asur v'chol anasim. It's asur everything that goes into an oven. If a person just says things that go into an oven I don't want to have, he's talking about bread. Everything that goes into an oven, then it's everything. Okay, next. Mishnah.
Before I can ask a question.
Yeah.
Like I was waiting to go. I didn't really understand the story of Bar Kappa and Rebbe. And actually, that part is okay. Why the son-in-law left? Like why he was mad?
He didn't understand. He didn't see the. He saw his father-in-law jumping around, and
So
and the
why
thing.
didn't
Then he go
Rebbe
ask.
stop him? Like
Maybe
the
it's-
father-in-law.
I
Like,
don't know.
He didn't want to maybe embarrass himself.
Does it say any more over there in the bottom? Is there any more explanations to why he left? He left. He saw that.
and what's the haircut is dealing with?
No, so the haircut is we want to know this. Who's
Well,
this?
like,
Who's this Ben Naasa? Who's this guy? He was a rich guy. So they tell us a little bit about him, and he was a very rich guy. And one time, he spent a lot of money
to show off with the haircut.
No, not show off. I think he wanted to teach people about the Kohen Gadol's haircut. So it cost a lot of money to get that type of haircut, but he did it for a purpose to show. I mean, if we would have today the Kelim of the Bet HaMikdash, we'd be like all intrigued. So people would say we're learning about the Kohen Gadol. He says, you know what, I'm going to spend the money. I'm going to get the haircut of the Kohen Gadol.
Oh,
Let's
it
see.
was in Babylon, so nobody knew Bet HaMikdash.
Yeah, maybe. And it was after the destruction. So he
it's
wanted
kind of
to
praising,
teach them. Yeah,
praising the son-in-law. Because
yeah,
he
it was a
doing
praise. This
something
was a
good,
praise. This was a praise of the son-in-law. This was a good thing about the son-in-law. Yeah.
He also says that he spent a lot of money learning how to cut.
Oh, learning how to cut the hair.
Yeah, the hair.
How to cut the hair like the
Also
Kohen
cut-
Gadol.
Yeah, the haircut, yeah.
Mm. Nice. Okay. Nun Aleph Amud Bet. Min hakavush. So in Hebrew we have the hey hayediyah. Like ani olech le habet knesset. That's Magen David. Going to the shul, right? So the verse says hakavush. Min hakavush. The verse says I don't want to have the pickled thing. In asur ella min hakavush shel yerek. You're only asur from vegetables, because vegetables were things that generally were. When a person says pickles, it meant pickled, like vegetables that are pickled, because you could have everything that's pickled. I think Nisim told me that there's a store in Turkey that has 150 pickled items. No,
Yeah,
or hundreds of pickled items. You walk in and just pickled watermelon and pickled stuff. Okay, kavush, shani toem, asur b'chol kavushim. If a person says, I don't want to eat anything pickled. Pickled that I taste, anything pickled, that means asur in all pickled items. Min hashaluk, things that are min hashaluk, things the partially cooked item. And asur ela min hashaluk shel basar. It's talking about meat. Shaluk, shani toem, asur b'chol hashalukim. Asur in all types of shaluk. Gemara. Amar le Rav Acha bered Rav Avia le Rav Ashi. Rav Acha, the son of Rav Avia, told Rav Ashi, Amar de kavish mai the shalik mai. Oh, if a person says de kavish, it's like it's Aramaic. Is de kavish like hakavush, or is it like kavush? So that's is asking in Aramaic. De shalik, de tzali, that tzali means roasted. De maliach, salted. Mai. So the kavish mai, the shalik mai, the tzali mai, the maliach mai, hayachin mashma, hechin mashma, tibai. What's hechin mashma?
The dilemma remains unresolved.
Yeah, the tibai is like teiko. It remains unresolved. We saw that before.
Like what indicate the dilemma remains unresolved.
What's hayachin mashma?
Yeah, what is the dilemma, I think, no? Or what do
Hechin mashma, hechin mashma. How is it mashma? How is it?
So,
Which side is it? How is it mashma? How is it?
Indicated.
How is it indicated? Is it like this or is it like this? Is like hey hakavush, or is it like stam? Okay. Next Mishnah. Min hatzali en asur ela min hatzali mishal basar divir b'Yehuda. Yehuda says, like we just saw in the Mishnah, hatzali is tzli of basar. Tzli shenitohem asur b'chol hatzluim. Min hamaliach en asur ela min hamaliach shel dag. He said the salted thing. It means salted fish. Maliach shenitohem asur b'chol hameluchim. Anything maliach is all the salted items. Dag dagim shani tohem. If a person says, I don't want to have dag dagim, fish, but dagim is plural. So asur ba'em ben gdolim ben ktanim, ben meluchim ben tfalim ben chaim ben mevushalim. So he says. So the Mishnah says, he says dag dagim, asur big ones, asur small ones, and we're going to see that dag generally means big one. Dagim means small ones, because it's plural. And it also has to do with when a person goes and buys fish. If he says, Tavili dag, and dag is one fish. So generally you're talking about like a bigger fish. Dagim is generally fish that are sold multiple, like sardines. It's not, so you don't buy one sardine, you buy sardines in plural. So when you say dagim, you can say dagim on plural, big fish, but in general, dagim is talking about fish that are sold many at one shot. So, dag dagim shenitoim, asur ben megdolim, tanim, meluchim, salted ones, ben tfalim, which unsalted ones, ben chaim, alive, ben mevushalim, or cooked. Umutar betarit tirufa ubatzir, and you are mutar in, it seems like beated fish, like I guess like mixed. It's already mixed. Batzir is the brine. Brine is like the oil that comes from the fish, etc. Hanoder minat tzachna asur betarit trufa umutar betzir ubemurayis. Person says, I don't want to have tzachna. So tzachna. So the Ran says tzachna is many small fish together, and among them is fish that are cut up. So if a person says, I don't want to have tzachna, then he's also including in that tarit terufa, because terufa is cut up beat fish, like mixed fish. But mutar b'tzir b'murayis. Tzir is brine, and murayis is it's also not fish, but it's like the fat or something. 1 second.
Brian, fish juice. It's
Fish juice.
Gravy?
Mhm.
And I don't know what's the fish juice.
No, what fish gravy?
So tzir is the fat, shuman. Shuman with the innards of the fish. And murayis is the shuman bilvad.
Like brine from salty fish.
Yeah, so tzir is the fat together with the innards of the fish, which is not, I guess it's not called fish, it's still called the intestines, let's say. And murais is just the oil. Fine. And oder mitari terufa, asur betzir b'murais. But actually the Ran's gear says mutar betzir b'murais, and that makes sense, because if you say, I don't want to have tari terufa, that's mixed fish, then you should be mutar with the oil, or with the oil in the intestines. And that's the Ran is mutar, and he says asur is not correct. Says the Gemara, Tanya. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Omer, dag sheni toem asur begdolim umutar begtanim. First says, I don't have dag, it's asur for gdolim, and mutar ktanim, because dagim is ktanim, as we said. Daga shani toem, first says daga, asur begtanim umutar begdolim. Daga
Like small fish.
is a small, connected to small fish, and mutar gedolim. Dag daga shani toem, asur begdolim and mutanim, big and small. Amar Lev Papa Labaye, Mimai de dag shani toem gadol. Why do you know that dag is referring to big one? It says a pasuk, Tichtiv, Vaiman Hashem, Vaiman Hashem dag gadol livlot Yonah. Hashem brought a big fish to swallow Yonah. So dag is the gadol. It says the Gemara, Ve'haketiv, it says in the pasuk, Ve'itpalel Yonah el Hashem Elokav mimaya hadaga. He prayed from the innards of the fish. So hadaga, we want to say hadaga is small fish. So what is it? Is it big or small? It says the Gemara Halokasha, it's not a question. Dilma palte dagadol ubale dakatan. Maybe this is, they say, the Midrash of Yonah, a big fish swallowed him, spit him out, and a smaller fish re-swallowed him, and therefore, when he was praying from Hadaga, from the fish, the smaller fish. So Hadaga, small fish, and Dag is big fish. But then, it says the Gemara, Ela ve'hadaga asher bayeh or meta. But 1 second, when it comes to the Makav Dam, in the Torah, it says that the Hadaga in the water died. Ktanim metu, gdolim lo metu. The small ones died, the big ones didn't die in the Makav Dam. How does that make sense? It says the Gemara, Ela daga mashma gedolim umashma ktanim. Daga can be bigger or small ones. U'benedarim halach achar lashon bnei adam. But with nedarim we go with the lashon bnei adam. So lashon bnei adam, daga would mean small ones. But you're right, lashon Torah, daga is big or small. So, but in lashon bnei adam, dag is big, daga is small ones. And that's we go with lashon bnei adam. Last piece, 4 lines up from the bottom. Anoder minat tzancha. Person says, I don't want to have tzancha. And we said that tzancha is small fish, salted, and they usually some cut up fish in there also. Amar le Ravina the Ravashi. Amar hare alai tzichin mai tibai. Person says, I don't have tzichin. So tzichin. So the Ran says, am I making also asur on me? Tzichin is not tzachna, it's something different. Tzichin. So tzichin, is that include tzir and murayis or not? And that's what the Gemara says tibaye. It's a safek teko. It's a safek, and is tzichin tzachna or is tzichin not tzachna? The Gemara leaves that in a question. Okay, Chazak Baruch, we did it. We'll get over here. There's a few rounds I wanted to look at, but I think I spoke them out. And okay, so I wrote in the chat. The next shiur will be Monday night next week, B'ezrat Hashem. Full daf, and then we'll get back to Sunday, Monday, B'ezrat Hashem. Chazak Baruch.